It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam. Some hot surf fishing talk. My great-grandfather actually did lose his life surf fishing, and it was due to the waders filling up and him not being able to get out. There is no lore of him ever catching anything, though, so I think you're spot on there. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
But he died doing what he loved, which is being away from his wife. Because I'm convinced it is the Mexican version of golf. Golf is expensive. You have to have a country club membership. You have to have clubs. You have to rent a cart, tee times, caddies. That's expensive. Surf fishing is free, and you can spend an equal amount of time away from your wife. Like, I'll bet if they ever broke it down, they'd go, the average golf outing is 7 hours and 26 minutes and 11 seconds away from your wife. I'm not talking about going out of town. It's mean like a Sunday golf, going golfing with your buds on a Sunday. The average surf fishing length is exactly 7 hours, 26 minutes, 31 seconds.
You know what we need to do? Start a business where we just show up with all the accoutrement that you need. We got the waders, we got the pole, we got the bucket, we got this little chair, and we'll take a picture of you at the surf. And then you can give it to your wife and say, "Look what I did all day today." We'll change out the clothes. We'll bring a couple different changes, a couple different shirts, and then you can show your wife what you did all day. But then you don't have to go sit out there like a dum-dum, just sitting there staring at the ocean. You can go do other things that you want to do instead of just having. You can get away from your wife and have evidence that you got away from your wife.
But we have to provide them with fish, because just eventually you have to catch something.
Well, there's going to be different package levels, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you can step up.
Yeah, of course.
We got the swordfish, we got the flounder, sea bass.
Yeah.
We can do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And of course, women don't know fish. We could show up with a bunch of perch or walleye. Let's just show up with some
freshwater shit.
Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah. No, Whitey don't know. Mexican ladies.
Yeah.
They're anglers.
I'll tell you this, Ace. The next time you come to Minnesota, if you ever see a group of Hmongs walking out on a sheet of ice about to go ice fishing, follow them dudes.
Really?
They're the best ice fishermen on the planet.
Yeah, white women, they're not anglers. They're angling for an argument all the time, but that's their only angle.
There was a dude back in the day named Fish Fishburne. You would have loved this guy.
Wow.
And he had a TV show like Extreme Fishing where he'd go out and he would throw on, those cool, they're like waders, but they got like the inner tube.
Yes. Yeah, and they float in that thing.
Float in that thing. He'd go out there and he'd have like 6 poles going all at the same time. And he was but I don't know what happened to that dude.
I'm going to say, and by the way, if anyone wants to know about ice fishing, it's nicely chronicled in Grumpy Old Men 2, or maybe the first one.
The first one's, the second one is summertime fishing. That's the springtime, yeah.
Now, I don't want to besmirch the good name of the grandpa who perished in waders after the waders flooded. I'm going to say beer had something to do with this incident as well.
Yeah.
That's not a purely... By the way, if you don't have a tall boy in your hand, I don't even know what you're doing, surf fishing for 6 hours in waders.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got in the news department, Rudy?
Well, an older man at a recent Cubs game took issue with a younger fan choosing to remain seated during the national anthem. In a video shared to X that has gone viral, it shows the older man yelling, "Get up," to a younger man who was looking up at him during the national anthem.
Nice.
Hits him.
Good for you.
And then he stands up.
The ladies from The View would be disgusted at this Cubs fan.
There's really not much to the rest of this video after that. The 2 guys that are sitting in front of this younger guy, they turn around, they shake his hand, they say, "Thank you for standing up."
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, after I watched this, we're not allowed to hit children anymore or use any sort of like corporal punishment, but boy, does it get stuff done.
Oh, man. Super effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look, I've said it a million times. My daughter, when she was, 3, she spit in the face of her nanny. Spit in her face. And then Annie smacked her. And then she never spit in anyone's face ever again.
Ever again.
Which is good because she showed early promise as a face spitter. Mm-hmm. But then soon as she felt that fucking sting of that Guatemalan chick hand across her face, she got the message real good.
Yep.
And as her dad, I'm thankful that she received that message.
Yeah.
I have no problems. And I got no problems with that. I don't like when people beat their kids like with weapons, you know?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Although I was thinking about this the other day. There's Andrew. For some reason, I'm on a couple of threads and text threads, and I'm on one with Bill Simmons and Jimmy and a few other guys. And they sent me, Bill sent us all Eric Estrada fighting with Danny Bonaducci back in the day, an episode of Chips where they had the karate throwdown in the street with Bonaducci throwing spinning heel kicks and Punch and Eric Estrada thrown down
in his cowboy boots.
I'm trying to think. He probably was wearing his Chuck Norris stretch jeans though.
Yeah, sure.
This is good. But,
yeah.
All right, so this is young Dooch. He's fighting it out. Every biker, now, it's what I was thinking about when they sent me this. Every biker movie I've ever seen, or gang movie, or bar fight movie, at some point, guys had pool cues.
Yep.
And they'd come out the pool cue, and it's like, I don't think a pool cue could harm anybody. I don't know why that was considered a super effective weapon of the 70s. You'd be like, this guy's got a piece of balsa wood that's 41 inches long. That, by the way, screws together in the middle, so it just busts in half if somebody hit it on you.
Yeah.
I feel like I could give you a pool cue and go, give me your best shot. You can get me in the thigh, go bust it over my shoulder, my head. It's going to leave a mark. But it's not going to stop me from fucking getting my hands on you.
It's like when mom breaks the wooden spoon across your ass and then realizes, I got nothing anymore.
If you're like, I'm fighting this guy and he has a choice between weapons and one is a baseball bat and the other is brass knuckles and the other's a knife, and if it ever lands on pool cue, you're like, oh my God, that's so awesome. By the way, I think a pool cue, you burn more calories trying to figure out what to do with it. You'd be better off throwing it on the ground and put your fucking hands up.
Yeah.
Like if you knew how to use your hands, like if you ran across Roy Jones Jr., you should hope he's holding a pool cue because he's got to try to figure that out.
Yeah.
Versus just throw it on the ground and just pummel the shit out of you with his hands.
If somebody's got a pool cue, that means that you are in earshot of a actual pool table. Grab a cue ball and wrap it in your T-shirt and then swing that thing around like you're going full,
A guy with a sock with nickels in it, I'd be more scared of than a pool cue. But for some reason, you could slap it on your hand and go, all right. And you fought with that cane was less than a pool cue. Like you could not do any damage to somebody with that. But also the great use of the Japanese pan flute in there, which is just insert that when people start doing karate.
Yep.
Karate. That's right.
Nice. Yeah. The thing about guys my age in our 40s now is that when we were kids, we came up with the Ninja Turtles, and anytime we got around a pool cue, we went full Donatello on that ass. So we do have skills in the karate.
Yeah,
with the pool cue.
Pool cue jabbed in the eye or anus is a thing. But
I want to see that fight.
Busted, just whack with a pool cue. It's just going to bust.
Yeah.
It's not going to cause any damage.
No, man.
And somebody figured it out because we got away from pool cues. Oh, you should have asked Cornelius if, out in the street, if he's ever run into a pool guy with a pool cue. I think it's more guys with guns and shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. Well, a heroic family dog chased away a wild bear who charged at a young boy outside their Connecticut home, and then the pooch was awarded with a bravery medal. Did you see this video at all?
I see videos of dogs doing heroic things, but I just assume it's AI all the time.
Sure.
But this is real.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So the husky, Yeah, the husky comes running in and clips the bear right in the ass, bites him in the back,
Wow.
and then the bear runs under. And the original video that you see, most people didn't show this right away, but you just see the bear kind of running past the driveway. But when they showed this angle, that bear was coming straight at that kid. Luckily, that dog was there.
Yeah.
Because weren't you just talking to somebody the other day about the difference between brown bears and black bears, where there's more attacks by brown bears, but if a black bear gets a hold of you, it's more than likely going to kill you, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I think it's that way.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's sheer numbers. It's like there are more blue sharks attacked, but if a great white shark gets hold of you, but I don't know if that's just because there's 10 times more blue sharks or how that works. Mm-hmm. But man, dogs are the best.
Yeah.
And I love watching videos of dogs doing, we call it selfless and heroic, but it's really just stupid shit. Like they're all id and instinct. They don't really.
No.
It's not like we decide to do stuff and then it's heroic because you decided to put yourself in harm's way. They're just reactive, but I love that.
Well, I had an English bulldog. His name was Paul. He died a year ago. And that dog, we got him because I was home. I was working from home after COVID and thought, I want a dog that's chill, that's nice, that's easy, that can still be a little bit rambunctious. And then it turned out he was just the laziest sack of shit ever. Yeah. Never fetched a ball, never sat, never shook paws, never did anything cool, just sat around and did nothing. So I imagine if a bear came piling in, because your last two dogs have always been kind of like protective a little bit, right?
No, but they had they could develop a motor. They didn't have any protection instinct. I never really put it to the test, but they, Phil wanted to spend a lot of time in the pool if he could. He didn't bark, so he didn't have the protection instinct, and that he really literally didn't know. I shouldn't say didn't know how to bark. The only time you could ever get Phil wound up and show his teeth and growl and bark is if I shadow boxed in front of him. You could knock on the door. He just lay there, wouldn't move. You could do whatever you wanted with Phil. I would walk him all over the neighborhood, and he'd see other dogs, and all he wanted to do was play with the dog. And it didn't matter how much the dog was growling or showing its teeth or how big or how angry it was. So we had Great Danes that were behind this big fence, and they'd go nuts, and Phil just played with them the whole time. Never barked at anyone, never barked at a human being. If he came into my office and I shadow boxed in front of him, he would get fired up and go at it with me.
So what you're saying is if Bonaducci came at you with a pool cue, Phil was just going to go ahead and let the old douche get you right in the melon, huh?
Well, it depends, because if I started throwing combinations, then Phil might get fired up. Yeah. And that's how he worked. He was always gentle, even when he was showing his teeth and growling, and he was always having he was just having a fun time.
Yeah. Did you ever see the TV show Landman with Billy Bob Thornton?
No, I was too bothered by his AT&T campaign, where his hat was brand spanking new. It had the old boots, the old jeans, the old truck, and then this brand new velvet hat that looked like the wardrobe guy just hit with one of those sticky rollers and then set on his head.
Yeah, put on his
Bothered
head.
me.
Brand new right out of the box.
Bothered me.
Still the stickers and the tag hanging off of it like this
Mini Pearl.
Yeah. There it is. Right there.
The first thing you do when you're trying to do dude on the road kind of thing is you muss up that hat, because that's his buddy.
Yeah.
That thing's been with him for 11 years. It gets thrown on the dashboard when he walks into the honky-tonk, It's brand new jet black hat.
Yeah, I like the guys that would they would fold it up and put it in their back pocket and then pull it out, and the brim it wouldn't be folded and creased. It would be perfect every time. How?
I've never felt the necessity to shove a ball cap into my back pocket. I don't get that part.
It's where you keep your hanky.
Yeah, I think it's a thing. I also feel the same way about the sunglasses on top of the ball cap. But anyway, all right. Landman.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the reason why I brought it up is there's a storyline with his wife who volunteers at a nursing home, and she starts to feed alcohol to the patients, which turns out to be illegal. Well, now they've actually passed a law in Minnesota called the Grandparents Happy Hour. Governor Walz signed the Grandparents Happy Hour bill into law, which enables assisted living and nursing homes to legally serve their residents alcohol.
I'm all about that.
Absolutely.
Well, look, you lost your driver's license 7 years ago, so you're not jumping behind the wheel of anything.
It should have been 15 years ago, but
right. Then, you went full Paul Pelosi, and we finally wrestled that thing away from you. Then you are eating slop, and as anyone knows, eating slop sucks when you're sober, but it's better when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Like when you're drunk, that shitty institutional food is good. And if you're sober, it's fucking weird tasting. But when you get fucked up, that's when you do your fucked up slop eating, and it's fine. You know, it's where the ghetto dogs and everything taste good out front of the stadium or after the bar club or whatever.
Yeah.
So you got to eat shit food. That's better with a buzz. You're not going to drive an automobile, so be it. Okay. What else? You got to watch super shitty daytime TV, better with a buzz. And then you have to interact with grouchy, smelly people, all better with a buzz.
Yeah.
Everything better with a buzz.
Yep.
And half you guys are moving around in a wheelchair, which is better in a buzz.
Yeah. Which in California, you can get a DUI if you are buzzed up in that wheelchair. But the thing about it, like, you're so close to death anyways. My grandmother, before the last time we ever hung out, we snuck booze in. It was the holidays. And we
really?
snuck booze in, and the nurses, like, turned a blind eye and just went, she's got, 3 weeks left? Enjoy your holidays. And we boozed it up. Everybody was drinking wine. It was a great time.
Yeah.
And they also get mouthy. They're already mouthy, but on top of it, you add a little bit of booze. Like, there was a group of ladies that came in and sang at my grandmother's home. And one of the gals next to us, when they were doing the champagne toast, because I do believe it was New Year's Eve, but it was like a 5 o'clock thing that they had going on. And the lady's family had shown up, and she had a couple of small glasses of champagne, and then loudly said, "These gals must be great in bed because they sound like shit."
In the annals of my mean grandmother, I like to talk about my mean grandmother. I remember very clearly where I was when I was like 19. I was at her house. We're staying in the living room. And she goes, you know, these senior homes, there's like 8 women for every one guy because they all outlive their husbands. And so these senior homes end up being these cat houses is filled with senior women and, you know, one dude for every 10 women. And these guys get their pick of the litter, and they end up having lots of sex, senior sex in these homes. So it's just 8 women, 10 women, and the one dude. And I go, well, at least I got that to look forward to. And she goes, you think you're going to be that one dude? Like, meaning, hey, grandson, you'll be dead. She's literally telling me, you're going to be the number of the guys who died before you get there. That's going to be somebody else, not you. Couldn't have laughed.
No.
Couldn't have laughed and just nodded along. I made a joke, and she wanted to sit down and explain to me that statistically I was going to be in the ground before I was going to be humping my way through a convalescent home.
Yeah, you'll be a bunch of ashes sitting on your wife's mantle while she's getting plowed by Roger.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. What else you got?
So, Michigan Democrat says that it is discrimination to not accept Medicaid. His wife runs a doctor's office that does not accept Medicaid.
What?
Yeah,
Never.
crazy. What?
What?
Abdul Sayed, the far-left Muslim candidate for Senate in Michigan, the Mamdani of the Midwest, is the typical DSA-style candidate, and by that we mean that he is a hypocrite.
All right, we got a clip.
Abdul El-Sayed is increasingly facing accusations of champagne socialism. And his tax returns are adding fuel to that fire. The filing shows El-Sayed's household income for 2025 was over $686,000. That's nearly 10 times Michigan's median household income. And one reason the Medicare for All candidate is raking in cash and backlash is that his wife, a psychiatrist, does not accept Medicare or any other insurance plan at her practice.
All right. So here's what we know. Everyone is going to do what's best for them every day, all day, every time. So with that in mind, we have to move forward with different systems that don't rely on everyone doing the right thing. No one does the right thing any of the time. I don't care how much you fucking preach. Also, it's weird by this time. Like, how much can you listen to somebody talk about redistributing wealth and fairness and families going to bed hungry and all the other horse shit they never stop talking about and have net worths into the millions and tens and hundreds of millions of dollars and owning multiple homes. Like, how long can you get a speech about the dangers of smoking from someone who's smoking before you go, well, look, either cigarettes aren't dangerous or I'm not going to listen to you, or both. But whatever the fuck, I'm not going to vote for the smoker who's lecturing me on smoking while smoking.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. And I have no idea why people are waiting for a different outcome when it's impossible. It doesn't exist. Bernie Sanders is a millionaire. This guy's a millionaire. Nancy Pelosi's hundreds of millions of dollars. It's not going to happen. Go do your own fucking thing. I don't know what the fantasy is. I'm going to elect this guy, then he's going to go to Elon's house and get money, and then he's going to bring it back to me. It's never going to work. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Imagine that old infomercial, or I guess the PSA about the kid on drugs, and he goes, "Where'd you get this stuff? I learned it by watching you." The dad. Right. There's a moment where the dad really sinks in, and he's, I am the cause of this problem. Where I think nowadays, if you go, well, why'd you rip off the government? Well, I learned it by watching you. They go, no, you didn't. Well, I don't know. Maybe look at your taxes. You just obviously made $72,000 more than what the 1% of Michigan's, I don't want to say this, the 1% of Michigan puts you in a tax bracket where you made $72,000 more than what most people, the richest part of Michigan, and you have the audacity to tell everybody that they are the ones being racist. When you and your wife, you guys are raking in the dough. You're selling houses that have your name on it, but you're not going to be able to give any sort of where this house was, how much you sold it for, any location, nothing. They just constantly keep. They throw. It's angry.
Wow,
I'm getting angry about it.
We're just coming undone.
Well, I'm getting angry about it.
He makes 10 times what the average Michigander makes.
Yeah,
and by the way, I make more than 10 times what the average Michigander makes, which is fine. I just don't preach to everybody about what they need to give and how much they need to give and who they need to give it to. I just pay my fucking taxes and get along.
Yeah.
So it's the preachy part. It is weird and sad that we have to revisit a bunch of retarded ideas that have never worked. And essentially, as a society and also through politics, but also through finance. So, I mean, here's what I'm saying. Here's what we're not doing. You take the aeronautical, aviation, the subject of aviation, safety, speed, what have you, right? And so the way it works is they go, well, we're going to build this World War II Allison or Marine Merlin or Rolls-Royce V12 engine, and we're going to put it in this Spitfire and blah, 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 and we're going to carburate it. And they go, okay, good. And then they carburate it. And then at some point they realize in steep dives, the carburetor doesn't feed the cylinders well because of the dive angle or whatever it is, and the float ball, whatever. The Germans build a Daimler-Benz V12, they fuel injection. The fuel injection means they can dive at full throttle and it never gurgles or bubbles or stops, right? Okay, at some point, the English go, I think the Germans got fuel injection, and so they're going hauling ass, and we're gurgling, bubbling. We got to retrofit our Spitfires with fuel injection like the Germans did, and then they do it. But then it's not like the engineers' kids 30 years later go, let's try those carbs out again. No, they move. They just move forward. Yeah. They just fucking move forward. And there was an airplane that was in England. It was a passenger airplane. I don't know, it was a Comet or whatever, one of the earlier jets. The windows were square-shaped, not round. Mm-hmm. And you look at an airplane, you go, yeah, all the windows are round. How come none of them are square? Square is actually bigger. You get more viewing space, but the corners got fatigued. the airframe of the
Sure.
corner made a weak point with metal fatigue. But guess what? No more fucking square windows on airplanes. 10 of those planes crashed. We learned. We moved on. We learned a lesson from then. But we can't do it with defund the police or socialism or anything. We can't do it. We just got to go, let's try communism a 57th time. No, let's go back to carbureting the fucking airplanes and put the square windows in. People die. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, but we learned. And now we have super efficient, safe airplanes. But we've got to go back and crash a bunch of fucking airplanes, and then we'll go back to this again, and then some fucking douche who was in college at the time and doesn't know shit and never studied aeronautics is going to then suggest because of equity and something, and then we'll go back and crash the planes again, then we'll rebuild, and we'll go forward again. Could you imagine if we just treated the society like commercial aviation? I mean, they had prop planes, they had canvas stretched over wooden bodies. Now you're laying in beautiful reclining first class. You're going
Wi-Fi.
600 miles an hour. You got Wi-Fi. You can't even feel it when you take off and land. Oh, we didn't have pressurized cabins back then. Nothing. We just keep going. We just keep going, and we weed out the bad ideas and the ideas that'll kill us. And we keep weeding them, and we keep advancing, and with the engines get smoother, and they get more efficient, and they get more thrust, and everything gets safer. And now you go, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
A brand new airplane that rolls off the assembly line, Boeing 779 Dreamliner or something, is a miraculous marvel compared to aviation, commercial aviation in the 40s, in the 50s, or whatever. Okay, dangerous, rickety, what have you. But then you go look at a city, and you go, what was L.A.? When that airplane in 1950 was rolling off the thing, that D.C., whatever, in L.A. was clean, L.A. was nice, L.A. was safe. Now L.A. is a garbage pail full of shit because of your horrible ideas that got implemented, and you wouldn't fucking let them go. You just had a new, fresh crop of engineers show up every year and go, I got an idea about some square windows. And it's like, that doesn't work. Oh, yeah? You're a racist. I'm putting my square windows in. Imagine we just treat society that way. We just keep evolving instead of a new graduating class of retarded, young, idealistic, fucking retard idiots who want to embrace socialism or communism. Of all things, the most tested and tried, failed form of governing on the planet, they decide, now we're dusting this shit off. Aviation is so pure, it's all engineering, and nobody would implement anything that failed in the past. If it was a part, that part got fixed. If it was the design got fixed.
Pragmatism.
Yes, we were left alone. There were just dudes. English airplane is a Havilland Comet, introduced in 52. World's first commercial jet airliner. Yeah, featuring square windows, which concentrated in the cabin pressure and metal fatigue and fatal in-flight breakup. So guess what? Go down to Dawson, go down to LAX, and I will give you $10,000. You can find me a commercial airplane with square windows.
All right.
All right? But you can go to fucking Seattle and find some bitch who's into socialism, and you can go to San Francisco, and you can go to LA, and you can go to Chicago. You can go find socialism everywhere, but you can't go to the airport and find a plane with a square window because it failed. It didn't work.
Yeah.
It was dangerous, and people lost their lives.
And every time they have these rallies for communism, for socialism, there's always somebody who shows up who's like, hey, listen, I'm from Cuba. I'm from places that have had this before, and it goes tits up, and they go, you don't know what you're talking about, old man. He's like, okay, well, I didn't float here for 92 miles on a Michelin for nothing.
You know what I'm going to do?
Listen to me.
Yes, I'm going to go down to the next rally that has the Queers for Palestine. And they're going to be some 23-year-old bitch with titty paint on who's all angry. And I'm going to go, you know what, bitch? I'm for pilots for square windows. What do you think about that, bitch? And she's going to go, oh, my God, I've been burned so fucking badly. Woo, I get that reference. You talking about the Comet?
Yeah, of course.
52?
Yeah.
Metal fatigue? Shit. Fellas, he's right. He's right. The old man's right.
Yep.
For pilots for square windows.
Let's get the dye out of our hairs. Let's actually go put on clothes that fit.
Yeah, and thank God a lot of us came in from neighboring states, but we can return safely on the commercial aircraft with the round windows.
That is correct.
All right. This Saturday, Huntington Beach, Sea Legs, fun place at the beach. Cool, fun, outdoor venue. Then Torrance, I think Rudy's coming out to that.
I will be there, yeah.
Early show's sold out, not because Rudy's going to be there. But second show, still some tickets available. Also, then July 30th, Freehold, New Jersey, going to Uncle Vinny's, and then New York City, doing some shows at Rodney's over there, 31st. Go to AdamCarolla.com for all the live shows. What do you got, Rudy?
Well, I'll be with you on all those East Coast dates, and then this weekend, find me opening for Jonathan Kite at Zany's in Rosemont, just outside of Chicago, Illinois.
So, till next time, Adam Crawford, Tim Pierce, and Mike Sonnen, and Cornelius Wills. Oh, I thought it was Willis. Did I screw that up? Yeah.
Wills.
And Rudy saying mahalo.